DOJ ordering the acting U.S. attorney of the Southern District of New York to dismiss all charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. For more on this developing story, NBC News Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Delane joins us tonight. Ken, you know, we've been covering this story a lot here on Top Story. What more do we know about what happened today? I know this story just broke moments ago.
Yeah, it really just did break, Tom. A Justice Department official confirming to me that the acting Deputy Attorney General, Emil Bove, who, as you recall, was once Donald Trump's defense lawyer, has ordered the Southern District of New York, the acting U.S. attorney there, to dismiss all charges against the New York mayor, Eric Adams. And I got a sense from this official of what the Justice Department's reasoning was behind this decision, and it's multifold. They are saying that they believe this case was an example of weaponization, meaning that it was unfairly brought for political motive. And they've accused the former U.S. attorney, Damian Williams, of using this case for his own political gain. They also say that because of this indictment, the New York mayor had lost his security clearance, and that made it more difficult for him to cooperate with law enforcement operations in the city, including immigration enforcement, which is a high priority for the Trump administration. And they say that they assessed that the Adams defense was not given enough time before the imminent trial to deal with all the massive amounts of evidence in the case. So they're ordering this dismissal. Now, the case has not yet been dismissed. That would have to be done through a motion filed by the prosecutors in the Southern District of New York, and a judge would have a chance to review that. And one of the interesting questions is going to be, will those prosecutors carry out this order? Will any of them resign rather than do that? I mean, they no doubt that they believe strongly in this case. There's a lot of evidence. This is a massive bribery and corruption case, not brought lightly against a very prominent public figure. But this is also an example of how the Trump Justice Department is unafraid to weigh into these politically fraught cases and take these kinds of actions, Tom.
Yeah. Shout out to Donald Trump, man. This guy is really working for the people, man. He kind of said it a little bit, you know, during the, what was that? The Catholic dinner, about how he got treated unbadly and whatever. And he's kind of hinted around the fact that he may help out Eric Adams. And see, listen, man, I really, this is what I really want Eric Adams to do. And I know this might be a little bit off topic of him and getting the charges dismissed. I really want him to work with Tom Homan. I think if he wants to get any chance of re-election or have any favorability with his people in New York, work with Tom Homan, okay? Do not fight against Tom Homan like these idiots in Chicago, in Boston, and all those people. Be the different Democratic mayor, right? Be the John Fetterman type for being a mayor, and work with Trump instead of against him. And I think you will be more liked than hated if you do that. Now, I think that if this is not a real case, which I'm just going to be inclined to believe that this is not a real case with the bribery and all this stuff, because he came out and told, you know, Biden that he was wrong about the migrants and that they needed to do something about it. And you know what? This shows you how corrupt this government can get. To allow something where he can clearly see, like, hey, man, budget-wise, we can't take all these migrants. And he mentioned something about them giving him like $11 a day or something at a hotel. He said, you can't do nothing with that. They were literally trying to sabotage his city. And he said, no, he's trying to do right by the people that elected him. And Joe Biden and his administration said, nah, bruh, we got a different and bigger agenda, man. We need to let these migrants in for X, Y, and Z reasons, which we will end up finding out why there were so many migrants that came here in the first place. And because he didn't want to cooperate, he gets smacked in the hand and they throw charges on him. And this man has a family. He's got to talk to his girls. I think he's got a daughter or maybe some daughters. And he's got to go through telling them how he's been falsely accused of something. And if they would have won, Kamala Harris and slow Biden,
sensational,
they were going to try to lock up Mayor Eric Adams. I believe there was no doubt in my mind they were going to try to lock him up or take him through what they did Trump, like the same way they did Trump. And the only reason why Trump was able to evade all of this stuff was because he had good lawyers and he had money. You need money to fight in the court system. So I don't think Eric Adams would have had enough. It's like with RFK Jr. He didn't have enough money to keep fighting, so he joined forces with Trump because he was like, man, I'm getting killed in the courthouse. I think Mayor Eric Adams was done wrong. And Biden wanted to show his force and say, oh, this is what you want to do. I don't even think it was Biden. I think it was whoever was handling Biden. We all know Biden wasn't running the White House. Eventually one day we will know. Some of y'all may take a guess on who y'all think was running the White House. But this was wrong, man. Like, drop his charges. Let this man be a mayor. Let him do his job. But this shows you why Brandon Johnson is acting like an idiot over there in Chicago. Because he probably got the same talk that Eric Adams got, and Eric Adams just wasn't going along with the plan. And that's why Mayor Mohawk is looking like a dummy and about to lose his entire city, meaning his voters, when they come to vote again, because he wants to be what's called a good Democrat. Eric Adams said he was told from someone to be a good Democrat when it came to the migrants. And so that means Mayor Mohawk ain't nothing but a good old Democrat, which is destructive. You want me to go through it again? Death, destruction, demonic, Diddycrats. So, man, drop these charges on this man and let this man live. Let him do his job. Stop trying to taunt this man. Who knows, man? This man probably went through so many things that can really break a person. His public image being charged of all this stuff. He's like, man, I was doing right. I heard something about upgraded flights. Like, you know, he got to the gate and then upgraded his flight. They used that against him in the Department of Justice. I'm like, man, these folks are insane. Man. Yeah, he said, be a good token Negro, right? Be a good Democrat. Be a good Democrat there, Eric. They knew what they was doing, man. They knew they wanted to sabotage America. And they were like, we're going to go into these big cities. And you know what? Eventually we're going to find out why. What's going on now with DOJ and all this money, we're going to figure out why. And we're going to cover FEMA. We're going to cover FEMA. FEMA and these New York City migrants and them funding this stuff is ridiculous. How can Democrats, and you know what, I can't wait to talk to a Democrat and like, you know, because, you know, they in hiding now. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go out there and ask them if they Democrat now. I know a few Democrat friends of mine. I'm gonna have to ask them this question. How are you okay with FEMA sending, it was like, how much was it? I got it in my notes. Was it $59 million? $59 million to New York City hotels. Like, how are you okay with that? Why are they funding that? Anyways, let's get off that, man. Load up my next topic.